Welcome to the Joint Works. I'm Luke Tonge.
I'm Dan Alcorn.
And we're based here. We have our offices here and we run the Birmingham Design Shop from here, and we're going to show you around.
We should probably say
what
we actually are. We're directors of Birmingham Design Festival.
That's true. Yeah, all right.
This is where it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan Alcorn. I am a design lead at an agency called Substract, and I'm co-founder and co-director of Birmingham Design with my lovely friend Luke.
And I'm Luke Tonge. I'm a studio of one, a graphic designer specialising in editorial and brand identity work, and I co-founded and co-direct Birmingham Design with my friend Dan, which puts on the Birmingham Design Festival, amongst other things. So that's us.
We met at a meetup that we both used to attend, which I ended up running, called Bodego. It was set up by a few designers working in the city, and it happened every Thursday fortnight at a place called Bodega in the city centre. We kept in touch throughout that entire period of time, and then I messaged Luke and said, "Do you want to do a design festival?" and that's really where the partnership started.
Neither of us are from Birmingham, so we've kind of been adopted into the city and the West Midlands in general, and we really feel passionately about this community. And even beyond Birmingham, the whole of the West Midlands really doesn't always get a fair rap on the national scene. It's often the butt of the joke with the accent and things like that, but there's an incredible community of people here who are world class, and so we're really fortunate to be here and to have that opportunity to put on events here and to showcase the region to the rest of the world.
And it's worth saying a lot of the work that we've done is simply because we want Birmingham to be better. The reason why the festival is called Birmingham Design Festival, and the reason why we set it up in the way that we did, was because we wanted to celebrate Birmingham. We wanted to make people outside of Birmingham realise it's actually a pretty good place to be. So we could have done the festival in our first year in one venue over a day, but we didn't want it to be that. We wanted it to be in multiple venues so you could really explore. We wanted people to see the Big Berth, and we wanted to see the Jewellery Quarter. And then another reason for doing it in the way we did is we were fed up with how expensive design festivals and conferences were. I can't afford to go to most of them. Some of them are upwards of £300, some of them are upwards of £1,000. I can't afford that now when I'm in a senior position in my career. So we never really understood who those events were for. It was for big corporates and people who could afford it, but we wanted something that was for students and for
everyone.
Yeah, for everyone, and for people that were early in their career but still had the quality of those events. Yeah. So I think we've done a great job of getting world-class speakers and having that quality and making it feel like a really industry-leading event, but it's almost entirely free to attend. We founded the festival 5 years ago now, and the shop is sort of the latest project we've been working on. We started the shop in June of last year. It's a little bit sparse at the moment because we're setting up for an event tomorrow, but it sells design books and stationery and lots of things that we think our community would really love. We've been keen to do it for quite a long time, and then the opportunity to have a physical space arose a couple of years ago. So we this is where most of the energy has gone for the past 8 months, has been to stocking up and selling things. We sell a lot of stuff online, we sell a lot of stuff internationally. We produce a few of our own products, like the magazine, which Luke has just produced, the second issue.
And it's going to be launching tomorrow at an event which you will be, this is in the past now for you guys, but an event called Gather, which happens at least twice a year in Digbeth, where we get speakers to come and talk to the community. So we're really excited about producing our own products to sell, as well as stocking stuff that we know that our audience will love. And we do a lot of that packing and sending from here. Dan does a lot of that every day, and we'll show you the space upstairs where we do that stuff from as well.
Original, heavy, safe. There's a few of these dotted around the building. They're so heavy that we can't get rid of them. That is almost a two-man job to open the door, and it's full of our crap.
But it does have a lovely chandelier, as every safe should have. So
plus an extra 2 safes.
Yeah.
Safes within safes.
Safe within safe. The safest part of the building for sure, but not very good Wi-Fi in there. But this upstairs space is really useful to us because, as we mentioned, a lot of the shop stuff is posted out. About 2/3 of the goods that come through the shop end up in the postal system. So here is where Dan can be found most mornings, picking and packing packages ready to go to be picked up by the postman. So that's a really useful space for us, and it's nice that it's the old heritage original workstation where gold would be passed through, and nowadays it's design books, which is not quite so valuable, but it's nice.
I work full time for an agency, so I have to slot doing Birmingham design stuff into my spare time, which spare time is now not really a concept. It's sort of like doing 2 full-time jobs, but it is very rewarding. It's good fun. The work I do for Substract is building websites, designing and building websites for arts and cultural organisations, so there's a big crossover there. That was part of the reason why I felt comfortable moving into that space with a festival, because I was already working with clients that were doing that. It was quite a good opportunity to peek behind the curtain of some quite big institutions and see how they do things or how not to do things. And I was also doing a lot of the work that we would need to be able to produce to do the festival. So probably the biggest system and infrastructure we have is the ticketing one. And that is my day-to-day, every day. So a lot of those big tasks and big projects that a lot of festivals and arts organisations would have to pay a lot of money for were covered in-house by me and Luke doing the design, me doing the digital stuff. So there's quite a really great relationship that can be had there with myself and my agency.
You know, things like the magazine, which we showed you in the shop, that's a personal project. I designed that, but it's with a purpose and a cause, and it's for BDF or for Birmingham Design. So it's the nature of that kind of work has changed for me over the last few years. I get a lot of creative satisfaction through the work that I do for my clients because I'm working on that on my own rather than in an agency, which used to be the case.
I've always been an okay drawer. I'm really average at everything I do, which means I'm better than half the people. So I think it's always made my work look a little bit better than it is, but I'm distinctly in the middle on everything. I was doing like a lot of drawing at school, and it would be me doing like the programme for the school play, and then I quite liked all through growing up just working on websites or little magazines or little design projects, whatever I was always creating something, and it got to the point where I was then doing that digitally quite a lot. But I think I've just always enjoyed creating things, and that's not just visually. Like I quite like creative writing. I enjoy a bit coding. So yeah, I think I certainly throughout my career I've always used my passion projects as an opportunity to fulfill creative desires that I wasn't getting in my day job. So I had a day job that was very e-commerce focused, that then felt like I wasn't doing enough art-based things, so I started doing screen prints. I then did a lot of print work and was missing doing digital stuff, so I started building websites, and then the opposite of that happened. So I always try and fulfill whatever I'm not doing in my spare time, and now BDF is so broad that it kind of takes over all of that.
We sort of approach BDF as a big creative project because it covers so many different disciplines, and although the community side of it is really important to us, I think the designers and us both really relish the opportunity to have like this big design project that we get to work on year round, and that ends up in print and digital and events and it looks like lots of different things, but that's a really lovely kind of outworking of the abilities that we both have. I definitely grew up loving art and thinking that was what I wanted to do, and getting told off at school for spending longer illustrating my work than doing my work. That was a regular thing.
That was the same with me, actually.
Yeah, and there was never really any other career that I fancied, and I always knew that I would head into the arts in some way. I wanted to be a rollerblade designer for a bit, and then I wanted to be a garden designer, and then I wanted to be a footwear designer. I went through various different phases, but the more I understood what graphic design was in my teens, and I was fortunate to have it as a GCSE option and then A-level option, I really realised that that was the way that I wanted to go, rather than just pure design or pure art or photography. We both do quite a lot with younger designers through mentoring and the different schemes that we run. And there's a huge reward there as well in seeing people either avoid mistakes that you made, or benefit from the little bit of wisdom that we've gained over the years, or just opening the right door to someone, or pointing them in a direction that maybe they didn't know about, or even just encouraging them in their work. That it's that human side of it that is harder to pin down exactly what it is or how it happens, but that's the bit that gives you the warm fuzzy feeling. And
I think for me, I've made a career out of really loving certain things in life, like football or games or whatever it might be, and then working out how I can filter that into my work. So when I left uni, I was really adamant I wanted to work in football. Now, hindsight would say that was a really stupid idea, but I built a portfolio around mock-up projects of what working in football would be like. Like I did stuff for if England had hosted a World Cup. I did posters and programs and things like that. Just really, it was all fake work, but I also then worked out where I wanted to work, what are the realistic clubs to go to, and then made sure I aligned myself with recruitment agencies that were recruiting for them. And then when I did have an interview at Aston Villa, I had a body of work, even though it was totally fictional, showed my passion for the sport, my passion for designing for it, that I could do that work. And I don't think I had, because I was only 2 years into my career, I didn't really show any of my actual work because I was working for a catalogue retailer at the time. But I did show a lot of stuff that I created at uni, and they were like, oh yeah, this is kind of exactly what we're looking for. And just because you've never done it before doesn't mean that's going to hold you back. If you really want to do it, there's definite paths from nothing.
Yeah, they say show where you want to go. And that thing of you won't get hired to do a job if you haven't shown that you can do that already. Like, I love magazines. I now occasionally get hired to do magazines, but that would never have happened if I hadn't had magazines in my portfolio in the first place. People have to see and believe that you can do that thing. So Dan's right, absolutely. Of showing your passion for whatever it is in your work, you're far more likely to get that invite or that opportunity or that job if you can demonstrate that stuff. So, there's no one right path for everyone. That's an important thing to say. People have got different talents and different interests, but I think there's a lot of things that people forget often about the basics, about, you can't expect people to find you if you're not visible and accessible. So having a presence of some sort on social media is still really useful. Being consistent and accessible and findable and friendly helps you be recommended to people. We speak to people all the time, and you need to be memorable in some way. You need to give people a reason to say your name in other spaces where opportunities are. You don't have to be the best in the world, but you have to appear like you want the job or you want to be part of something. And that enthusiasm is really infectious. If you're, smiling and engaged and friendly and enthusiastic about design, if I can see your passion, I'm going to want to help you. And that's true of every designer that I know. They will gladly give up their time, do interviews, do portfolio reviews, all of those kind of things. If you can see those things, particularly the engagement and the enthusiasm, be the sort of person that you would want to hang out with. That's another important thing. Sometimes you can be amazing at the work, but if I don't want to sit next to you for 8 hours a day, I'm probably not going to hire you. So, being friendly, being kind, having those soft skills, it's fine if you're shy. I was a very shy young designer, but being a nice person to talk to and have a laugh with, and offering to make the tea occasionally, that goes a long way. So I think there would be the things that I would say.